feud between It Ends With Us stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni is now threatening to pull in Taylor Swift. After her name surfaced in court documents, Baldoni's lawyer says he could depose the star singer. And now a new $7 million lawsuit's been filed, this time against Lively.
On my part, one thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail.
Through text messages, videos, screenshots, the director of It Ends With Us says he can prove that he didn't harass the actress and he didn't try to...
Things are getting messy for Blake Lively. Justin Baldoni and his legal team aren't holding back. They're calling her a liar after she filed a lawsuit accusing him of harassment and misconduct. Justin's team fired back within 48 hours, denying the claims and saying they have proof to back it up. Now, Justin is taking legal action against Blake, and the back and forth has only escalated. To defend himself, Justin is releasing text messages and behind-the-scenes footage, and according to his lawyers, this is just the beginning. Even Ryan Reynolds and others have been dragged into the drama. Stay tuned. This situation is far from over.
Time progressed in this film. She decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors.
For those who haven't been keeping up, things are getting even messier. Justin Baldoni, along with Jimmy Heath, Wayfair Studios, and his publicist, first sued the New York Times, claiming the outlet intentionally twisted the story when it published Blake Lively's allegations. But that was just the beginning. In a second lawsuit, Justin directly targeted Blake and Ryan Reynolds. This is where things get even more dramatic. Fans are even comparing it to a Game of Thrones battle, with some Taylor Swift references and cryptic text messages thrown in. Justin's first lawsuit argues that the New York Times worked with Blake to manipulate the story by selectively using evidence and leaving out key details to make him and his associates look bad. He also claims that when the newspaper reached out to his team before publishing, they were told Blake's version wasn't accurate, but the article still went live. According to Justin, this was part of a month-long effort to push Blake's narrative. He even alleges that the New York Times rushed the article out 2 hours early to control the story's impact. And from the looks of it, this legal battle is far from over.
Are you saying that they got changed copies of the communications, or that they changed the communications to remove emojis? Are you blaming the New York Times for doing that?
I'm blaming the New York Times for participating with Blake Lively's publicists and engaging in this
campaign. For those who aren't up to speed, Blake Lively initially avoided directly suing anyone by filing a right to sue letter with the California Civil Rights Division. This allowed her to keep things private and bypass the discovery process. But now that everything is public, Justin Baldoni's team claims her goal was never a lawsuit. It was about controlling the narrative. One of Blake's biggest accusations is that Justin and his team used media connections to smear her reputation. She even shared text messages as proof, but Justin's team fired back, claiming those messages were doctored to make it seem like a full-scale attack. They released their own receipts, showing internal discussions where they were actually concerned about Blake's PR team pushing false positive press about her. In one exchange, Justin asked how they could prove they weren't behind the media backlash, while his team reassured him that Blake's own actions were fueling the controversy. Another PR rep downplayed the situation, saying the media was simply reacting to what Blake had put out there herself. Justin's lawsuit also accuses Blake of altering messages to fit her story. For example, she shared a text where someone reacted to an article titled, "Could Blake Lively be canceled?" with, "Wow, you did something amazing with this." However, Justin's team claims she removed emojis and sarcasm, making the message seem serious when it was actually a joke. There's also a moment where Justin sent his PR rep Melissa a TikTok from Perez Hilton, suggesting Justin's team was behind negative press about Blake. Justin immediately questioned it, asking, "This isn't us, right?" Melissa shut it down, calling Perez a troll and assuring him that no credible outlet would take him seriously. In another text thread, Justin's team discussed Blake's past controversies, but Melissa insisted they had no prior knowledge of them. She explained that once the media gets involved, things snowball quickly. Her comment, Blake handed it to them on a silver platter, further suggests the backlash wasn't orchestrated. It was a natural response to Blake's own actions. Perhaps one of the biggest hits to Blake's claims is a leaked text exchange between her own publicist, Leslie Sloan, and a Daily Mail reporter named James. Leslie denied any involvement in spreading negative press, but James countered, saying he never even heard about Blake's accusations against Justin until much later. He also hinted that Leslie had a history of feeding information to reporters, only to later deny it when it backfired on her clients. Blake also alleged that Justin's PR team celebrated shutting down HR complaints against him. But Justin's side presented an email from TMZ asking if there were multiple HR complaints. The key detail? Those complaints were about workplace disputes, not misconduct. A TMZ reporter even told Melissa that sources on set found Justin to be well-liked, with the real issue being Blake's alleged huge ego. More text messages reveal that even TMZ was skeptical of Blake's side. When Melissa told them Blake's team kept assuming they were planting stories, a TMZ reporter responded cryptically, "Wait till I tell you the full story. You think you know, but you don't. In my entire career, I've never seen anything like this." Blake also claimed that Justin's co-star Jamie once showed her a disturbing video she believed was adult content, but it turned out to be a personal clip of his wife giving birth. Jamie defended himself, stating there was nothing inappropriate about it, even releasing a still from the video to disprove Blake's claims. The New York Times backed Blake's story, alleging that both Jamie and Justin repeatedly entered her trailer without permission, even when she was undressed or breastfeeding. But Justin's lawsuit tells a different story, including a text from Blake herself inviting Justin in. "I'm just pumping in my trailer if you want to work on our lines." Justin replied, "Copy. Eating with the crew. We'll head over soon." This contradicts Blake's claims and suggests key context was missing from her version of events. Blake also accused Justin of objectifying her by wanting to make her character look sexier. However, Justin's lawsuit includes messages where Blake herself suggested making her character's outfits a lot hotter. In another text she wrote, "If I were a girl walking down the street, I'd check that out." Another major claim in Blake's lawsuit was that Justin supported unwanted kissing scenes and frequently brought up his personal life. His team countered that Blake refused to meet with the film's intimacy coordinator, forcing Justin to handle those discussions alone. Despite his initial reluctance, they eventually worked through the intimate scenes together, without the coordinator's help. Blake also described a behind-the-scenes moment where Justin allegedly put his lips near her neck and commented on her scent, even though the scene was a silent montage. However, Justin's team released footage, showing the interaction wasn't as one-sided as Blake made it seem. With both sides continuing to release new evidence, this legal battle is far from over.
Nosy.
I know. And my nose is so big.
Yes. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then,
Blake wasn't just acting in these scenes. She played a major role in directing them as well. A behind-the-scenes video shows her and Justin laughing and discussing how to approach a particular scene. At one point, Justin jokes about getting his beard on her, and Blake laughs, saying she's probably getting her spray tan on him. When Justin compliments the scent, she casually responds, "It's my body makeup." It was a light-hearted, professional exchange, nothing like the inappropriate encounter Blake later claimed. The lawsuit then shifts focus to control over the film. Justin argues that Blake is attacking him publicly because she took over the creative process. His company, Wayfarer Studios, secured the rights to the book in partnership with Sony, but despite being the director, he lost creative control. Blake was given a producing credit, and according to Justin, Sony sided with her so much that even the film editors weren't allowed to see her version of the cut. In a text conversation, Justin asks if the editors have reviewed her edit, and the response is clear. "We are not allowed to look." He was stunned. How could the director and editors be blocked from reviewing an actor's cut of the film? With no choice, he had to accept her decisions for the sake of the project. To make matters worse, Blake allegedly pushed Justin out of promotional events to ensure her version of the film got all the attention. But she didn't stop there. She and Ryan Reynolds have been subtly throwing shade at Justin for a while, making jokes that most people wouldn't even notice at first. However, when you connect the dots, it all starts to make sense. Ryan wasn't just supporting his wife. He was reportedly involved in making major script changes as well. One cast member even confirmed that Ryan rewrote several scenes and made significant changes, something that most actors wouldn't be able to get away with. But because Blake was involved, the usual rules didn't seem to apply.
Hold on, you guys have to see this.
Clueless. No, I wish.
Ryan's here tonight. What is it like for the both of you to be promoting major motion pictures at the same time?
Oh my gosh, it's just so thrilling in our house right now. We help each other. We work together so much. The iconic rooftop scene in this movie, my husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that, but you now. But
he wrote the
it.
rooftop
he works
scene.
on everything I do. I work on everything he does. So his wins, his celebrations are mine, and mine are his. I mean, he's all over this film.
And Hugh Jackman.
From the start, Blake and Ryan were constantly changing lines, tweaking scenes daily, and creating tension on set. Blake knew exactly how to navigate the situation. She showered Justin with praise, calling him one of the best directors she had ever worked with. She claimed that other directors had always shut her down, never letting her contribute. Wanting to be fair, Justin gave her creative freedom, but that decision would come back to haunt him. Things took a major turn when Blake rewrote a crucial rooftop scene, setting off a chain reaction that changed everything. When Justin voiced concerns, Blake brushed him off, insisting she knew what she was doing. According to Baldoni and his legal team, Blake made sure to highlight that Ryan and Taylor Swift absolutely loved her version of the scene and couldn't wait to see Justin's reaction. But she didn't stop there. She even invited Justin to her penthouse, where Ryan and Taylor hyped up her writing, convincing him that her version had to stay in the film. Later, Justin texted Blake, praising her talent and assuring her that he had tried to incorporate some of her ideas into the final cut. This is where the Game of Thrones references began. In one message, Blake even compared herself to Khaleesi, saying she had dragons on her side. A clear nod to Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, who she implied would support her no matter what. She wasn't just name-dropping. She was making it clear that she had real influence in both the film and music industries, proving she held the upper hand. But Blake wasn't just focused on changing one scene. She wanted control over the entire script. Justin, trying to keep the peace, allowed her to make changes, hoping to avoid conflict. However, as time went on, the rewrites became more frequent, and Blake started questioning nearly every directing decision. This created even more tension behind the scenes, making it harder for Justin to maintain creative control.
So nosy.
I know.
Noses.
And my nose is so big.
I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
But before this video clip hit the fan, Blake had no clue that the audio was recording during that scene. She claimed it was harassment.
Before everything spiraled out of control, Blake had no idea that audio was recorded during the scene in question. She later claimed it was harassment, but when you break it down, the reality is completely different. Both Blake and Justin were fully in character the entire time. In fact, Blake herself suggested they interact on camera to make the scene feel more romantic and dramatic. It was all about creating the perfect cinematic moment. They were joking around, keeping the mood light, and nothing inappropriate happened. Despite this, Blake went ahead and accused Justin of harassment and body shaming. She even convinced Ryan that Justin was the bad guy, despite the fact that they had never worked together before. Blake seemed to feed Ryan a version of events that made Justin look terrible. Then there's Taylor Swift, who has been dragged into this mess, and fans aren't happy about it. Rumors are swirling that Taylor may be distancing herself from Blake, realizing she was being used as a pawn in Blake's industry drama. And here's the real shocker. Taylor didn't invite Blake to this year's Super Bowl, a major change from last year when Blake was right by her side in the VIP suite, cheering for the Chiefs. According to sources, Blake wasn't planning to go anyway. She supposedly didn't want her legal battle with Justin to take the spotlight away from Taylor and Travis Kelce's big moment. Insiders insist that Taylor isn't trying to cut Blake off or teach her a lesson, but even if Taylor had invited her, Blake wouldn't have attended. She wouldn't want to take attention away from Taylor, especially on such an important night. But there's more. Apparently, Taylor was caught off guard when Blake referred to her as one of her dragons. That comment didn't sit well with Taylor, and sources say she now feels a certain way about Blake because of it. Reports claim that Taylor had no idea Justin Baldoni would be present when she visited Blake's apartment, leading to speculation that Blake may have planned the timing to stir things up. Additionally, Taylor recently discovered that Blake had been using her name for years in ways that weren't exactly truthful. For example, Blake allegedly told a young actress that Taylor had cast her in a role, something sources say never happened. Yikes! This controversy comes after old clips resurfaced online, portraying Blake as difficult to work with. Insiders also revealed that Taylor once tried to help Blake tone down her bold personality, giving her advice on how to slow down and avoid going all in on drama. While Taylor has always been more subtle, Blake has a reputation for going full force without holding back. With everything unfolding, it's safe to say Blake is in some serious trouble. Not only does Justin have a real shot at winning his case, but Blake could also be losing friends, money, and major career opportunities. It's a messy situation, no doubt. But what do you think? Is Blake heading for a PR disaster like Amber Heard, or will this all blow over? Share your thoughts below, and while we wait for more updates, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos.